Whoa, the factory. Welcome to your streamer. That's me, by the way. Your streamer's 2025 Touhou tier list. Now, you may be thinking, streamer, is this going to change even remotely? And the best part is, I don't even remember what I said on the last sorter. So, maybe it won't. But this time, we have something new this year. We have fossilized wonders. So, everything is set up so you can see it. And we're gonna see. So why I do this every year? Because I think it's fun to kind of look back and see if any of my opinions on characters have really been influenced based on just random vibes, fan art, fan games, all different kinds of things, you know? Because I find that every now and again you have a weird moment in time where you're just like, actually this character's kind of puggies, and then you know that character's either like a phase or it's like, or you're like, whoa. So, we'll see. But we're gonna ride out. Will the top 10 change? Chat, feel free to predict the top 3, top 5. Do whatever you want. Do it all you want. Alright, let's begin. Holy shit, is that Lily White? What the fuck? I know her. She's great. She goes wee 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 and says spring is here, and that hasn't changed at all. Why is there a bug in my room? Hitate, I don't give a fuck about Hitate. I don't see. Here's chat. The thing is, when you do this after when you yum, yes, you're a little less inclined to like preserve the feelings of random people on the internet, right? It's like, whoa, look at this character, Hitate. I don't fucking care about Hitate. Do you care about Hitate? Nobody cares about Hitate. Not me, not you, not us. None of us. Isn't that kind of rude, streamer? The only thing that's rude here is this like dust ball that's in my microphone that I saw, and now I want it out of my microphone. It's fucking bothering me. How'd you even get in here? Get out of my microphone, damn it. Stream, you're gonna break your microphone. Probably, actually. I should stop before I break it. Alright. Anyway, Hitate is a character with wasted potential. And the only reason she's even remotely popular is because it's people who don't like Aya have funneled their dislike into a different character. And it's kind of sad. But streamer, what about Lily? What about Lily? What about Lily? Lily's the best. Well, this is an interesting pair up. Do I like Ogu? Not really. Ogu's a character who doesn't really do a lot for me, but I gotta admit I like saying her name. I like saying Ogu. Certainly like it a lot more than Mimi-chan. Mayumi? Mayumi's okay. Merlin? I actually like Merlin quite a bit. I think she's pretty cool. I think Merlin's pretty cool. Satono Nishida? As far as I'm concerned, this isn't a real character. Arya is weird. I don't really have a problem with Arya, but I don't have a preference to Arya. So, alright. Alrighty. Ellie or Yumeko? Okay, so this is, oh boy. Okay. Alright. So Yumeko's neat, but like Ellie is Ellie. Ellie's Ellie, I guess. I don't know. But I never really liked Yumeko that much to begin with. But did I like her more than Ellie? Yeah, I guess I did. But I like Ellie a little bit more than her now because of Fantasy Maiden Wars. So, there you go. Gengetsu and Seiden. I don't like Gengetsu. Whenever I see Gengetsu, I think about how much this character doesn't exist. This is a fucking nothing character. I'd prefer any other character. Seiden. Tsukasa or B10. Okay. To be honest, I've never really thought about this. If I had to pick which of these two characters I like more, I think I like the monkey. I think the monkey is slightly cooler. slightly. Fortune teller is Shimmy. I don't like Shimmy. I like what the fortune teller represents. I actually don't like Shimmy. So this is kind of sad. But Shimmy gets the no. Minariko or Raisin? Okay, so some people may say that streamer not liking Raisin is like untargeted. It's like a stray because you don't like Lunarians. But the reality of it is that I don't like Lunarians, but also Raisin is the most useless character in the entire series. Like really useless. Like even more useless than stage 1 bosses who don't do anything. She's just that useless. So yeah, Minariko's better than her. Rinosuke or Kutaka? So I like Rinosuke. I think Rinosuke is a great character when he shows up, and I enjoy him. And I actually kind of enjoy that he's rather modestly represented overall for his unique role. But I think that's because, it's for reasons. But I also think it's funny when he's turbo buff. So like I feel like there's always a good time with this bastard. That said, I do really like Kutaka. I think Kutaka's pretty neat. Now this music's great. You know why? Because next year, chat, hopefully in January next year in January, we'll have our hands, after 3-ish years of waiting, we'll have our hands on Imperishable Night for the Busy Person. It'll be done. We'll be able to play it, and it will be so good. And I will not remember anything that happened in the previous game, but that's fine. Here's what I remember about Busy Person. Bagoo, Alice, derogatory. Maspa, that's pretty classic. We know Maspa. And Yuyako's voice. Yuyako's voice is like actually kind of scary because it it moved me to tears. Yup. Her voice is like sugar sweet. It's a very nice voice, and I really couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. Embarrassing. She also died and turned into a tombstone. But streamer, she's a ghost. Yeah, she like fell in her oven or something. I don't remember. I don't really remember the plot because there's not really a plot to begin with, and I drink when I played those games, which I will be doing again. Don't you worry about that. That'll be like we used to do that. It was every Saturday. We do that with we play Touhou soccer into I Am for the Busy Person. That was our Saturdays. And you know what, chat? I think we'll probably do that again. I would really like to bring Touhou soccer back in some capacity to play it again. And why the fuck not? Why not bring it back for a classic Saturday stream of soccer into Busy Person? We did that for months with EOSD Busy Person. Saturday was always a day to look forward to. And I'd like to play Touhou soccer again. It's been a long time since I've got any gameplay of that game. And that game is fucking phenomenal. I want to see it again. I want to see that damn game again. Some of you have probably never even seen that game. Some of you have seen that game in its entirety. But like, it's a great game. I'll think about it. I don't know. Anyway, Rinosuke. Unzan or Luis? I don't have a problem with Unzan, but to me, he doesn't stand out as a character. Luis makes me giggle. There you go. Chirno and Takane. Takane is a character that exists, and despite me saying that her popularity being as low as it is makes very little sense to me, she doesn't really do a lot as a character for me either. Chirno, on the other hand, is a character that I don't particularly care about, but she ends up being present a lot because of her popularity and characters that she's familiar with that I do like. So, yeah. Anyway, I would pick Chirbo. Ellie and Ubami. Okay, so Ubami is a character that may as well not exist as far as the greater world is concerned. Ellie, on the other hand, I think she looks neat. And what streamer? Her name's not... Yeah, I know. We do this bit every fucking time. We do this bit every time. I know her name is not Ellie. I know, but I can't help it. I have autocorrect. My brain has autocorrect. I think she's pretty neat. I think she's pretty neat. Reimu Hakurei, PC98, and Narumi. I think Narumi is cooler than her popularity lets on. I do think the biggest thing that holds Narumi back is her wicked earlobes. I think that is the biggest thing about her that holds her back. But I think she's pretty neat. I like her. Do I like her more than PC98 Reimu? Probably not. Yuko or Nariko? Okay, so Nariko is a goofball, but like Nariko doesn't have much of anything going on except for the fact that she's has a bunch of Egypt memes. Yuko, on the other hand, is a tried and true character that I've seen through many different variations of and different stories, both tragic and comedic, and also, you know, her pudding voice, of course. You know, I think Yuko is a pretty swell lassie. That's all. Ichiden and Parsi. Okay, I don't really like Parsi that much. Sometimes she makes me laugh, but like I don't really get why she's popular. Ichiden, on the other hand, is a really boring character, but she's very pretty. So yeah. So we're gonna give that point to Ichiden. Shion and Mizuchi. I don't like Mizuchi. I think Mizuchi is a pretty bad character. She's a pretty bad character who's poorly written, and her motivations make no sense, and I, quite honestly, am not even remotely interested in seeing how her story concludes when CDS starts back up next year. And you know what that is, chat? You know when people tell it, like, you ever see like a tweet? You ever see like a tweet that's like, give like an insult to somebody? One thing I saw before is like something awful you could say to somebody was like, I hope your niche hobby goes mainstream. And it's like, oof, I feel that. And the Touhou equivalent of that, I think, is I hope your favorite character appears in Lotus Eaters. That is the Touhou equivalent to that. Your favorite character appears in canon again. Happy. It's in Lotus Eaters chapter. Panic! Panic! Streamer, why is that bad? They get more lore. Oh, yeah, they do. They get more lore courtesy of current age Zun, who would rather write about his misgivings and grievances about the future of the real world than any real fantastical element. That's a lot of fun. That's so much fun, right? Don't you love these whimsical characters who were made back in early 2000s coming back and being like, whoa, look at this allegory for how the world sucks. Yep, that's great, Zun. Thanks. Thanks for reminding me. Fantastic. There he goes, harping on Lotus Eaters again. You ever see that image of the dude crying? He's like, bro, just trust me, bro. It's good, bro. You just gotta get past the first season, bro. I'm telling you, it's a good anime. I just watched get past the first 5 episodes, it really picks up the pace, bro. That's Lotus Eaters fans. That's Lotus Eaters fans. They're looking at you and they're crying. They're like, bro, please give it a chance. It's just 60 chapters of no character development or character de-development. Check it out, bro. It's really cool. Look, Mioi, she smiles. Look at all these background panels where On is playing in the background. It's so good, bro. You should definitely read it. I think I'd rather die. But streamer, you have read it. I have. Up to chapter 58, I think. So, I am informed enough. I think the last chapter I read was whatever the one was before Jun came back and she was involved in some kind of crypto scam. And when I heard that, I was like, I don't really want to read this chapter. And then I didn't really want to read anymore in general. So, yeah. 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 Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Anyway, Shion is sad, but she's more interesting than Mizuchi. Chimi Hoju and Sakuya Izayoi. So, I've said this before, but my issue with Sakuya is that every aspect of her image that would present her as cool is completely and utterly undone by the fact that she wears a stupid maid uniform. Yep. But however, Sakuya is pretty cool if you take her out of that stupid maid uniform. Shimi, on the other hand, Shimi looks like a toucan. What does that mean, streamer? It means that, like, when I look at her, all I can see is a toucan. Why? Have you ever heard of the cereal Fruit Loops and Toucan Sam? What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean a lot, but, like, basically her colors and, like, the texture on her feathers and shirt, they remind me of a toucan. So when I look at her, she just looks like a fucking idiot. Well, I mean, that's a little rude way to say it. You know, a more PC way to say it would be she looks like a goober. But no, she looks like a fucking idiot. So, yeah. I'll give that point to Sakuya. Because Sakuya is still cooler than that. Why is she named Hoju? I don't know. I'm really curious about that. I am really curious about that. But at the same time, I don't want to know. Alright? I don't want to know. Evil Eye Sigma and Yomotsu Hisami. Yomotsu Hisami is the furthest thing from an interesting character you can get. Period. Simply period. I don't care if she's attractive. I don't fucking care. Her entire character revolves around a bad character. That's it. That's it. It's like, wow, I sure do like this character. Well, I hope you like the other one, because if you don't, then you're gonna have trouble. Oh, that's okay. I don't like them. Therefore, I would prefer Evil Eye Sigma, because at least I can make a funny joke out of him. Kongura and Kotohime. I don't think Kongura is necessarily a bad design. I think she's kind of cool. But I don't care about her because I don't think she's cool enough. Sario, I think, is really cool. Kongura doesn't really do anything for me, which is kind of interesting because I feel like it should. I feel like her design should. Kotohime doesn't do that a lot for me either, and her bomb is awful. But she is kind of funny, so I'm going to give her a little point for that. Do I need to explain this? Do I need to explain this, or can I click Yomu and move on? Can I click Yomu and move on, or do I need to compare these characters? What's I can click Yomu. Okay, I clicked Yomu. Ron Yoshika. I've never really been a Yoshika fan. I just don't think anything you can do with that character is ever really up my alley for character writing. That's all. Ron, on the other hand, has many things that I do like about a character, all bundled in one, and sometimes individually. There's not really a lot of personality tropes about Ron that I'm not really interested in. There's one in particular that can go a little far to a degree, mind you. But usually, I like everything that Ron brings to the table, and I think she's pretty swell. Allô? Kikuri and Raiko. Kikuri is neat. Concept-wise. Raiko I've always kind of had a soft spot for because I think her outfit is really cool. But I do think that her non-appearances in, like, since 2014 is kind of a shame because she really feels like an extra boss. Which, I mean, she is an extra boss, but you know what I mean when I say that, right? Like, extra bosses, they show up and they usually at least have something going on afterwards. But Raiko really feels like an extra boss. Like, she shows up and then it's like, okay, you beat her. And then she doesn't really do anything of merit at all. She barely has any appearances. And she's far enough into the series that it's like, you don't have a lot of fan stuff with her. Unlike some of the other ones. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't like the dancers. Hina, I love Hina. Asama Yuiman and Yamame Kurodani. I love my sweet potato spider. She is great. Medicine and Toyohime. Alright, so I fucking hate Medicine. Alright? Medicine might be one of the worst characters in the entire series because every single time she appears, it's always the same fucking thing over and over again. Every time. Oh, alright. Here's Medicine. Oh, what's this? She hates people? Alright, she wants the free dolls. That's cool. Doesn't like Alice? Wow. Very great. Very, very informative writing. Anything else? Anything else? Toyohime is a better character than Medicine. Toyohime showed up in the latest game, and she's way cooler. Alright. Alright, now I'm gonna tell you that everything I just said was a lie. It was a lie. I said I would do this. I said I would do this a couple days ago. I said I would do this a couple days ago to see who I could make angry about it. And if you got angry and went down to type a comment about it, and you're still listening, or you typed in the comment and then you started playing it again and you heard I was joking. Ha 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 ha. You're not supposed to say that. Yeah, but like, can anybody actually believe I would say that I'd like Medicine less than Toyohime? Do you think anybody in their right fucking mind would actually believe it if I said that I like Toyohime more than Medicine? Who the fuck would think that? That would be immediately obvious bait. Wait, but you were speaking truths though. Well, yeah, I was speaking truths, but that doesn't, like, what wasn't truthful was my opinion. What I just said about Medicine's character writing is very true. She's extremely one-dimensional because her story is always kind of set for you, and everybody just uses the same kind of story for her. It's not particularly a bad story, but it is the same and only one she ever gets, and it gets a little, like, I don't know, tiring. Whatever. Anyway, Toyohime is one of the worst characters in the entire series for a variety of reasons, but nobody actually cares about my reasons. They just hear, I don't like Moon character, and they close their eyes and plug their ears and go, yep, he doesn't like them because they live on the moon. And at that point, what's even the point? What's even the fucking point, boys? Kane and Remy. So I like both of these characters a lot. Kane is pretty cool, but Remy is also pretty cool. Everybody likes Remy, right? Nobody dislikes Remy. Streamer, I don't like Remy. Yeah, but like, who the fuck are you? I just said nobody dislikes Remy, and if you say you dislike Remy, that means you're nobody. I mean, isn't that just check out? Isn't that how our language works? Doesn't that make sense? Why is there like a fucking black bar behind her head? Anyway, Remy is great. I love Remy. Hikatia or Kwakuma. I don't really particularly mind Hikatia. Fighting her in 15 makes me want to like slap her in the face a little bit. You know, just kind of fucking just give her a couple smacks. Be like, could you not be such an awful boss? Kwakuma, on the other hand, is not really a character. So Kwakuma and Daiosei I find interesting because people's opinions of Kwakuma and Daiosei are pretty much 100% reliant on what they believe the characters to be, based on own opinions or fan-based experiences. But even then, fan-based experiences are also just based on the opinion of those who make them, right? So people who don't like Kwakuma and don't like Daiosei don't care about aspects outside of canon where there isn't really anything for them at all. So they find them as nothing characters and they don't have anything for them. But the people who do like these characters are the ones that get attached to more fanon representations of them, or their own personal representations because they're blank slate characters. So they're interesting because you can kind of tell, I think you can kind of tell based on like people's opinions of those two characters how much they would kind of value canon versus fanon. Just by virtue, same with Momiji, right? There's a couple characters in the series that aren't really characters at all, but some people have them as their high popularity because reasons outside of canon. But some people like canon stuff. I like canon stuff up to a certain point, I should say. So they're interesting characters to pay attention to, because I think they're good metrics to weigh how much somebody likes one thing or the other. Okay. Whoa! Oh. What? Kaku, Sega, and Kozuzu. So Kozuzu is adorable, and Sega is a bitch. Easy contest. Wagasagi Hime and Shinki. So Wagasagi Hime is a perfectly fine character that I think is pretty neat, but Shinki is also like, I have like 17 different variants of Shinky that go through my mind all at the same time. And they make me go, oh my god, hi Shinky. So, you know, that's kind of an easy answer for me. Kind of an easy answer. PC98 Alice and Letty. I actually am not that much of a fan of PC98 Alice. I don't really care about her. Letty is a character I didn't care about very much for a long time, but I've kind of grown on her a bit with the babysitter role. And also because of Hopeless Masquerade, where she wears pants. Because her pants in Hopeless Masquerade are very sleek and they look very nice. Her normal outfit looks like shit. But yeah, Letty is fine in my book. Lyrica and Okina, I don't like Okina. Okina is just bad Yukari. What does that mean, streamer? It means her powers and attitude are similar, but there's no real whimsy or fun to her because she's too new and doesn't have any like fandom to her. And her servants are ass. Look at Yukari's servants. Yukari's servants are Ran and Chen. Okina's servants are Mai and Satono. Like, come on, bro. Okina has so many fans, and I don't really understand why. If you're an Okina fan, you should write 2 paragraphs in the comment section that I will not read. So, have at it, my guy. Lyrica, on the other hand, she's fine. She's kind of a nothing character. Like, a really nothing character. But I guess I don't actively dislike her, so there you go. Oh, puppy! Don't make me choose! Don't make me choose! Oh, I don't know. I think they're both great. I think both these characters are swell. You know what? I think I do like On. I do like On more. I do like On more. On is adorable. Marissa from PC98 or Goo? Well, you know, not really a contest. I happen to be a bit of a Goo aficionado, yes. Gak Master, indeed. Yes, yes. Komachi and Futo. Ooh, these are both great characters. Futo's funny, but Komachi's pretty. You know? But Komachi can be funny as well. Komachi's not very good in Fantasy Maiden Wars, but that's okay. She doesn't have to be. Futo's not even in Fantasy Maiden Wars. Fucking loser. I think maybe what decides this is what you value more. Comedic value or like physical appearance. And if I had to pick, I would say I would probably give it to Komachi. Kassen and Reimu. I don't have a problem with Kassen, but Kassen is not my favorite character. That much is for sure. Reimu, on the other hand, is in fact one of my favorite characters in the entirety of this series because she's Reimu. I love Reimu. Ringo's fine. I don't have a big problem with Ringo. I mostly have a problem with fan art of Ringo, but I don't have a problem with Ringo. Daiose, so much like Kwakama, like I said earlier, Daiose is the other end of that stick, where her popularity with individuals is based pretty much entirely on what they believe themselves by either their own opinions or fandom-inspired opinions. There's nothing on canon to really work off of. I like Dai. I think Dai's personality in most fandom stuff is what I'd expect from her. And I think she's very nice. So I do in fact like Dai. My opinion of what I think Dai is what controls my opinion here. Yes. Momoyo and Rika. To be honest, I don't really give a shit about either of these two characters. Like, at all. Rika dresses like SpongeBob and Momoyo is just annoying. Annoying, streamer. Yeah, have you looked at her design? Look at her fucking design and tell me that isn't annoying as shit. She's got 20 fucking bows among her limbs, and all of the ends of her shirt and shit have these fucking green rings. Like, just looking at that character gives me a fucking headache. Fuck you. I don't like either of them. I really don't. But I'll give it to Rika because she dresses like Bobbly Punj. Mistia or Marasa? Rat. That's rat music, boys. Rat music. So, I dig Marasa. I think Marasa's pretty cool. However, Mistia, not even like counting like Mistia's izakaya, which I do like a lot. I do enjoy Mistia's silly nature. I think she's a very fun character, and I enjoy her. And she's cute. Chiari and Chiari, not Chiari. Chiari and Yugi. I'm not a Yugi fan. I'm really not. I'm not a Yugi fan. I would say I'm very indifferent to Yugi. Chiari, on the other hand, I don't care about Chiari either. Chiari has a gun. That's kind of funny. Yugi, I don't care about Yugi. I just don't care about either of them. I don't care about either of them, but I guess based on character interaction, I'd rather Yugi than Chiari. So I can't get her fucking name right, idiot. Orin and Shizuha. Orin and Shizuha. I don't think Shizuha is a bad character. I think she's pretty neat. However, I am a big fan of Orin. Orin is pretty cool. She's very goofy, and sometimes she's really attractive, and sometimes that bothers me. Anyway, Orin, Kana, and Lunasa. I like Lunasa. Easy pick. Nazarin and Kisume. I love Nazarin. Alright, Nazarin is great. Love Nazarin. Eren versus Jupe. Well, I mean, Eren is such a strong and, like, interesting and very down-to-earth and humble and, like, respectable character. Meanwhile, Jupe over here is kind of a bitch who just smacks people upside the head and takes their money and then fucks off. It's not very good behavior for a maiden, is it? No, not at all. That's bad behavior. That's a bad bitch, as the kids would say. Also, drawing all her accessories is such a fucking pain in the ass. Oh my god. You drive me insane! Jupe! I picked Jupe! Aki. Aki's not my kind of character. That's for sure. I like when she's I like when she does what she needs to do, but she's really not my kind of character. Tenchi, on the other hand, I love Tenchi. I love Tenchi after 10.5. 10.5 Tenchi I didn't like. 15.5 Tenchi, Wildhorn Hermit Tenchi, I love that Tenchi. That's my favorite Tenchi. Banki. Now, Shingyoku Male is not really a fair matchup here, but Banki is great. I love Banki. Banki's awesome. Moko and Gussie. Red, blue. Red and blue. I gotta think about this. Hold on. Let me put those gears into motion here. So Moko used to be my favorite character, but Moko has since fallen pretty far out of favor from that role. Gussie, on the other hand, that's a pretty that's a solid character all around. You know what? I think I gotta give it to Gussie. I gotta give it to Gussie. Wriggle, I've never been a massive Wriggle fan, that's for sure, and that's probably not gonna change. I think she's funny. Don't call her that. She ain't calling you, bro. I'll call her whatever I want. She saved me in her contacts under my name. What's she save under contacts for you? Oh, that's right. You ain't in her contacts, little bro. You can just sit in that chat. You can just sit in that chat over there. Yeah, okay, bro. Yeah. We'll see. What are we gonna see? Huh? 2026 gonna be different. Alright, little bro. Whatever you say. Alright. Anyway, Patchy's not my favorite character, but I get a laugh out of Patchy every now and again. I definitely pick her over Wriggle. Yasie and Star. I'm not a fan of Yasie. I don't particularly mind her, but I like the three fairies quite a bit because they're goofballs. Star is my least favorite of the three, but I still like the fairies. Ooh, Lily and Momiji. Ooh. Now Lily is pretty great. Lily's pretty great, but I've always been a fan of Momiji because obviously her design is really cool. And you know what? I've played games where Momiji has had personality, like Aya Ace Attorney, and I think her personality is often pretty fun. I like when she's straightforward to a fault. I like when she's a bit of a goofball. I like when she's tiny. Momiji is a malleable character with a great design that can be cute, it can be cool, it can be tough, it can be strong, it can be all kinds of things. Lily is always great. Don't get me wrong. Lily's always great, but Momiji is so versatile, and I am an easy man to please. The sun versus the sun. Now, I love the sun, but I love milk. I love sunny milk. More than Ogu, anyway. The real sun. Sunny milk. Yorihime and Merlin. I like Merlin more. I like anybody that isn't Yorihime more. Keiki and Eika. I kind of just feel bad for Eika. I think that's the worst part about Eika, is that it's not even like you dislike her, but when you see her, you just kind of feel like you don't want to be involved with her. I think that's probably worse than an active dislike, because it's like, no thanks. Like, you just pass on that character. Other characters, you can at least be like, I don't like that character. But with her, it's just you see her and you're like, nah, I'm good. It's like awkward. That's why I think she's so unpopular. It's not because people don't like her, it's that people look at her and like, everything about this character is just kind of weird. And they just kind of like don't want to be involved in that, so they back away from it. That's why she's so unpopular. Has nothing to do with her being cool. She's just like fucking depressing. Really, she's just kind of depressing. Keiki, on the other hand, she's fine. She's kind of a weirdo, but that's alright. Renko and Arya, I don't care about Hifu. Kirby. Okay, well, I've said it before, but Hifu in general, Hifu itself isn't what I call uninteresting. It definitely has a couple novel aspects to it that I think can be pretty neat. However, Hifu's popularity is so overinflated by people who don't actually give a fuck about Hifu's story. And Hifu's story does not actually warrant the popularity that it has. So, when people are like, oh, Hifu characters are so great, and then you go and read Hifu, you'd be like, Patchy sit, and just be like, really? This is what's so great about this? And that's when you realize that they're all full of shit. And they don't actually give a shit. Then they haven't even read the fucking stories. They only care about the gay shit, alright? That's what carries the character's popularity, not the actual story or character substance. It's all the gay shit, alright? But like I said, it's not that they're uninteresting characters, but their popularity is so overblown for reasons completely separate of their actual, like, things they do, that it's like you almost feel kind of disappointed. Or you don't, because you're one of those fucking... You're another one of those fuckers anyway. But for me, it's just Hifu is, like, neat as a one-off story to read, but it's not nearly as good as the popularity of those two characters would lead you to believe. That said, Arya is I don't even fucking be careful, streamer. What do I need to be careful about? I'm just telling the truth. It's not exactly a fucking secret that the reason these characters are popular is because of shipping. They're like in the top 3 most shipped characters, top 5 even, of most shipped characters in the series, and like they're fucking nobody characters in the grand scheme of things, right? This is in the same ranks as like fucking Reimu Marissa and like Marissa Alice, but the Maribel and Renko are up there. It's like, how? Literally how? It's that popular. But like I said, all the subject matter is not nearly as good as the popularity would suggest. So it's all gay shit. Anyway, Arya. Okay, well, anything's better than Satono. Ellie and Nitori. Nitori is neat. But you know what? It's Ellie's time to shine. It's Nitori's time to shine. Zamu, pretty much anybody in the entire series is a better character than Zamu. Oh, you got me. You got me with that one. Now, if you're wondering, chat, I don't click tie. Tie is for pussies, alright? Only pussies click tie. No, there's no equal amounts of like or dislike. There is a pecking order to this. I'm no pussy, alright? I always have an order. Alright? Gengetsu is less annoying because Gengetsu isn't even a real character. Clown P and Byakuden. Everybody loves Clown. She's great. I appreciate Byakuden more the older I get. Man, the older I get, the stranger my tastes become. Wait, that's not really the way to phrase that. It's not really what I'd say. No, that's not the way I'd say that. But it's more like the older I get, like the older the characters become more like, I don't know. I don't know how to really phrase it, I guess. But you get older and your tastes change. That's all. Your taste just kind of, you know, when you age, you reach a point where you see people, and it's I don't know, dude. I don't know. Anyway, Clown P is pretty great. Yumemi or Monkey? Yumemi is one of my favorite characters for PC98. She's also one of the most popular for PC98. So shocker there, am I right? Do I like her more than Monkey? I actually do, because Monkey is basically not a character. I think she's funny. You know, El Goku. Tokiko's a neat design, but she's not really a character. But I said before, Fortune Teller, I like what Fortune Teller represents, so I do like him more. I don't like Shimmy. Nemono? I don't like Nemono. Minariko's fine. Oh. But I really don't like Nemono. Kokoro Misamaru. Okay, it's not that I don't like Misamaru, but Misamaru is one of the biggest disappointments in the entire series. Absolutely 100% one of the biggest letdowns the series has ever had. Kokoro, on the other hand, every time she shows up, she makes me giggle. I see her and I go, hee hoo, oh, she's so funny. She's great. Kokoro is a great character. Michael or Renosuke. Michael's fine, but Michael's popularity, or what little popularity she has, stems pretty much entirely from the fact that she's a cat. But that's about it. But there's plenty of cat girls, so we don't need that. We got Renosuke. Kutaka, I like Kutaka. Luis and Orange, I like Luis more than Orange. Orange is not really much of a character I think about or care about. I clicked those on there. Mugetsu is a fucking worthless character. Everyone's better than her. Flan's Shot. Kijin, Seija, and Rukoto. Not really fair, because Rukoto is a nothing character. Ellie and Aya. I love Aya. Aya is one of my favorite characters prior to 2020. Yeah. Prior to 2020, Aya is one of my favorite characters. What does that mean, streamer? It means that Aya's appearances in canon after 2020 don't interest me in the slightest. Ruma! Whoa! Whoa! Look at her. Isn't she great? I love her. Streamer, she's like, what even is she? I don't know, but she's great, isn't she? Isn't she fantastic? No. Well, is she... You really think she's worse than PC98 Reimu? Yeah? Yeah, alright. Roomba. Ooh, Yuma and Yuko. Yuma is one of my favorite characters to come from newer stuff for sure. I'm a big fan of Yuma. She has a great name. She's got a great attitude. She's great. She's great. Sanyo, I fucking despise Sanyo. I absolutely 100% despise Sanyo and everything Sanyo stands for. Furthest thing from a Touhou character you can get from me. That's for sure. Yatsuhashi is the furthest thing from a character you can get, period. That's for sure. Still better than Sanyo. Ichirin. Larba. Larba doesn't do anything. Ichirin is at least pretty. Parsi, I just don't really care about Parsi. You know, but again, Eternity doesn't do anything. I don't care about Eternity. Shion and Suika. I love Suika prior to 2020. Streamer, what is that? You know what that means. Don't ask me again. Sakuya and Satori. Satori has always been one of my favorite characters. Because... well, I don't know why. Is it because she's soft? That's a really weird thing to say, though, isn't it? Like, what does that mean? She's soft. Like, that doesn't even fucking mean anything. That means nothing. Now, it's funny because I don't care about her sister in the slightest. Like, with Remy and Flan, I like both of them. But, like, with Satori and Koichi, it's like, I really like Satori. And then I don't give a fuck about Koichi at all. And it's similar to Jun and Shion. I like Jun, and then I don't care about Shion. But I like Shion more than I like Koichi. I do not care about Koichi, alright? I really don't care about Koichi. I like Oren, I like Satori, I don't mind Oku, and I don't care about Koichi. It's weird. It's weird. I don't think much about it, but yeah, Satori's a great character. Megumu and Rikako. I don't like Megumu. Megumu is Yon City. Rikako wears cut pant. Pretty cool, right? Iku's very pretty. That's all I got. Mamizo. I don't like Mamizo. End quote. Kotohime. Yomu and Maribel. Alright, Maribel, like I said with Renko, they're not necessarily bad characters, but like their popularity is not warranted by their actual lore. They're not that interesting. Besides, I'm kind of the type to see the Maribel and like Yukari, for example, as separate characters. Because I don't like the idea of them being the same character, because when they're the same character, it always feels like Mary is the character, not Yukari. It kind of just puts a fucking, like... it just kind of shits on every single relationship that Yukari has in favor of it being Maribel. It's like just not treating Yukari as an actual character anymore. So I don't like it. I don't like Yukari as an extension of Maribel because it forgets Yukari's entire characterization when it does that. Piss poor. Piss poor. Yomu, on the other hand, I like saying her name. Is that all, streamer? Well, no, that's not all, but that's really the only thing that matters right now. Yes. Maribel. Yuka PC98, Watari Nina. Watari Nina, you look really small. You know that? You look pretty small. I like Yuka. Yuka's funny. Ron and Junko, easily Ron. Yoshika, Junko. I don't really care about Junko, but I like her more than Yoshika. Raiko and Kaguya. I don't really like Kaguya that much, because I think she's not a very interesting character. But Raiko's not really a character, period, so, you know. I wonder which one he clicked. Do you like Kaguya more than Kikuchi? Do I? I don't give a fuck about Kikuchi, really. That character doesn't even come to my mind 90% of the time. Kaguya though, like, I guess. Hina or Miko? I think Miko's pretty cool. I definitely don't have a problem with Miko. However, I like saying Hina's name, which gives her like 15 bonus points over most other characters. Just because I like to say her name. That's all. Is that all? Is that really all? Yeah. Yeah, a little bit, actually. Maeda is not a character as far as I'm concerned. Kagura's okay. Shame about her fan base. Yamame and Mioi. Mioi is not a character. Yamame is the greatest. Easy. Yuimon and Mioi. I don't know, dude. I don't give a fuck about fossilized wonders. Ine. I don't give a fuck. She's more of a character than Mioi, but again, her popularity is also only up there because of shipping. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Yuimon can kick rocks. Medicine and Ben. Man, I fucking hate Medicine. Medicine is such a worthless, useless piece of shit fucking character. Okay, alright. Don't do it again, streamer. Ben though? What about Ben? Ben exists. Is that interesting? Not really. Is she more interested in Medicine? Not really. Is Medicine that interesting? Not really. Is this conversation interesting? Not really. Okay. This is where you flip a coin, right? And then you pick based on that, right? Right? I'd rather hang out with Ben than Medicine. Remy and Kurumi. I love Remy. Kane and Kurumi. I love Kane. Mailing and Ellen. I don't love Ellen. Kwakama and Urumi. Urumi might be one of the farthest emotions you can feel from like of a character that's possible for fictional characters in history. What the hell does that mean? It means I don't like her. Especially not more than Kwakama. Get out of here, damn it. Shingyoku, a fine design, but otherwise a nothing character. Kozuzu, on the other hand, is great. I like her slug. She's got a pet slug. Literally anything is better than Sega. Yuki I actually appreciate more than I used to, but not more than Shinki. That's Big Mama right there. Wagasaki, I have a soft spot for the fish lady. Nuhuju and Sagume. Nuhuju, well, I mean, I don't really like Sagume that much anyway, but I do like Nu. I think Nu is pretty cool. New is pretty cool. She's steppy. I steppy. We all steppy. Letty or Saki? I think Saki's pretty cool, but I don't really think much about her, like, at all. Letty, I think a little bit more about. Alice, yeah, same deal. Shimada's fucking adorable. It's funny because Shimada will show up in canon and she'll be like, yes, I am a big deal hotshot market goddess. And then I see her in fanon and she's like, hee, look at my pose. I put my fingies in the air and I make dollar sign. Whoo! And she's just like, she's like a little bastard, you know? Like I look at her and she's like a fairy, you know? She's just fucking around. But a canon's like, yes, I'm a very serious stage 6 boss character. But then I see her in fanon and it's like, look at my little dance. And it's like, oh, you're so great. You're fantastic. That's Shimada. Chiari's disgusting. Actually, repulsive character design. Whenever I see her, my face actually wrinkles. On the other hand, whenever I see her, I smile. I go, oh my god, look, it's on the puppy. She's not a puppy streamer. Fuck you. Oh my god, the other puppy. Whoa! Yugen, Magan, and Sho. Sho's awesome. Alright? Sho is so fucking cool. And Sho might be one of the most poorly handled characters in the entire series. For how cool she is, and for how not cool she is portrayed. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Goo versus Fish. The fish, who the fuck cares about the fish? We're talking about Goo! Okay, well now I care a little bit about the fish. I don't really care about Marissa in general, and PC98 Marissa is not really an exception. But the fish is also the fucking fish, so like, who cares? Mai and Komachi. I wish Mai a very removed from existence. Okay. What does that mean, streamer? It means that I wish that, like, if I was told, like, if Zung came to my house and, like, I go, hello, and then he goes, PC98, not canon, bye, and he leaves, I would think, damn, Mai doesn't exist. Not bad, bro, not bad. Now, I would lament for other characters, but Mai just being completely wiped from history would kind of make me go, not bad, son, not bad. Not bad, bro. Not bad. But then what about Shinky? Shinky would die. And then I would remember her. But Mai would be dead forever. And that would be pretty good. Reimu or Genji. Now, I am partial to old Genji. I'm partial to old Genji. But I am, at my core, a Reimu fan. And, well, I mean, it's like, it's really hard to say you're a fan of Genji over most characters. Koichi and Doremi. Doremi makes me giggle. Daiose and Yuka. I actually rather like Yuka more than I used to. I think Yuka has one of the more unfortunate fan bases, though. That's for sure. But I think Yuka's character is swell, and she offers something pretty unique in the grand scheme of it. But also, I like when she's, like, funny. You know, I like when Yuka isn't actually, like, she's scary, but she's not actually scary. I like that contrast of personality to appearance quite a lot. Snai and Rika. Well, I mean, the green one is better than SpongeBob. Mystia or the balloon? Mystia. Marasa or the balloon? Marasa. Sariel or Suako? Okay, well, I am what you call a frog fan. Alright? I am a fan of the frog. But I also think that Sariel, design-wise, is really cool. Yeah. I'd rather the frog, though. Chen or Yugi? That's an easy Chen. Enoko or Orin? Ooh. Okay, I like Enoko. Enoko is definitely my favorite character from 19 by a pretty large margin, but that's just because she's silly. But I like Orin a lot. Because I think Orin can fulfill many roles. Even though she's kind of a freak. I mean, she's not even kind of a freak. She is 100% a fucking freak. But, you know, she's great. She's fantastic. Shizuha? I like Shizuha. She's pretty cool. But I pick Enoko here. Lunasa, Marissa? That's an easy Lunasa pick. Kana or Marissa? Kana doesn't really do anything for me. Honestly, she looks kind of gross until 3 anyway. So, Marissa there. Sara and Kanako. Sara and Kanako? This isn't really fair, because Sara is like a stage 1 who cares, and Kanako is a character that I actively just don't like. So it's like indifference versus like dislike. It's almost not fair, because if I click Sara, it's like I don't even fucking like Sara. But if I click Kanako, it's like I don't even fucking like Kanako. How does that work? Streamer, click tie. I will tie you in a knot if you tell me to click tie. Alright? Shut up. I'm clicking Sara. Rat or Mima? Well, I'm not even a Mima fan. I'm of the opinion that Mima is neat, but like I don't like, you know, put my balls on a cheese grater and scream Mima for a new game, please bring Mima back soon. Like, I don't care. Mima's popularity is so overblown. It's so annoying. But Mima herself is a perfectly fine character, and the appearances that she does make in fan games can be pretty cool. I like her appearances, but I don't give a fuck about Mima at all. Nazmin, on the other hand, that's my fucking top rat right there. That's #1 rat. Rat City, boys! Whoa! Kasume? Oh, who fucking cares about Kasume? Kasume is just a child in a bucket. Who the fuck cares? Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Meet potential women. Ah! It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. I am of the opinion. What's her name? Her name is Jupe Streamer. Jupe, is that her name? Yes, that's her name. Her name is Orgam Jupe. Orgam Jupe. Pretty great. I like Jun. Did you know that? Did you know that I like Jupe? I think she's pretty cool. I think she's pretty cool, but Alice is also like the ideal male fantasy in fictional form, so it's like I'm a little, you know, it's not really fair. It's not really fair. I don't get it. Well, I mean, it's not a hard pick. Mind, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Jupe. Eren. Ain't nobody got time for Eren. Ooh, this is neat. Okay, I've always been a Bunny fan. I think everybody is a Bunny fan at some point in their career, but how far the Bunny fall is based on many different factors. But she's pretty popular. She's a pretty popular character. But I am very partial to Tenchi. I am. They're both great characters. You know, I think if I really had to pick, I would probably pick Kirby. I would pick Kirby. That's right. That's secret third option. I pick Tempe. Nice ass, Kirby. Nice ass. Akio and Tojiko. I don't really have a problem with Tojiko, but I don't care about her either. Akio, on the other hand, I think is pretty consistently a fun character whenever she appears. It's just that it's hard. It's weird to say. Like, I think she's a very fun character when she appears. Akio is always pretty consistently a good character, but it just feels like, I guess, there's just something about her that doesn't stick out enough amongst other characters. Maybe it's because she doesn't have Danmaku. Maybe it's because she's usually relegated to support roles. But Akio herself, I don't think has ever had a bad character role in anything I've ever seen or played, or she's involved. But it's hard to say she's like a character I really, really like, you know? Anyone else feel like that? Like, you really feel like you can't really think of any negatives to Akio, but when you think of positives, there's so many other characters you like more than her. And it's like, it's so weird. It's really weird. Banki or Yukari? Chat, did you know my first ever, like, popularity poll? I did a popularity poll when I played Touhou 6, 7, and 7.5. My top 3 was Reimu, Yukari, and Yomu. Those were my top 3 characters when I'd only played 6, 7, and 8. It was Reimu, Yukari, and Yomu. I think 7.5 Yukari was a lot of fun. I did. And I liked Reimu because she was Reimu, and I liked Yomu because she had a sword. And man, things have changed since, but not Reimu. Reimu is still Reimu. Reimu will always be Reimu. Anyway, Banki is great because I really like the concept of Dullahan, and I have ideas for such a thing that maybe some point I'll do. But I have to finish what I'm currently working on, which I probably won't do tonight because I want to go to bed after I'm done. Tay and Gussie. I'm a Tay fan. I'm a Tay fan. I could say I'm a Tay fan. I like Tay. Tay's pretty cool. But Gussie's pretty great. Gussie's pretty great. I like Moko more than Tay. Yeah, I'd say so. Tay can be really annoying sometimes. Tay is interesting because I think that Tay definitely has some moments where she's really strong character-wise, but too much exposure to her and you kind of just start to dislike her. You get really annoyed by her bullshit. So you need to take Tay in moderate doses, otherwise you kind of get annoyed by her. That's all. Patchouli and Luna. So I said earlier that I don't really dislike Patchy, but Patchy has some aspects to her that do get on my nerves sometimes. Luna is pretty adorable overall. I don't really get sick of Luna's shenanigans. I think she's pretty fun, but I also am partial to fairies in general, because to me fairies represent the aspects of the Touhou series that I like the most, and that's the lighthearted slice of life side of it. So I'm more of a fan of some of the fairies in general. That's interesting to say that because characters like Eternity I don't care about because it's barely character, and I'm not really big on Chirno. But the 3 fairies and Clown Piece, like Sengetsusei characters, I really enjoy them. They're very representative to me, for me of what I like about the series the most, so I do like them quite a lot. And, well, there's Star there. Momiji is an easy win there. Ooh, Lily! And Lily is the most representative of, like, fairies being, you know, like, look at that. Look at that. When you see Lily, the fucking chat activates like a bunch of sleeper cells. Like that's what happens. When you see Lily, you smile. That's how effective of a character she is. You see her and you're like, oh my god, hi Lily. It's like you don't see her and you roll your eyes like, oh great, here comes Lily White. You see her and you're like, oh my god, there's Lily. Like she always, when she shows up, you're always happy. She's always great. That's what she does. That's her fucking role, alright? When she shows up, you smile. When Hatate shows up, I don't smile. Yashie. Do I like Yashie more than Hatate? I guess I do. I guess I do. It's not even really that I strongly dislike Hatate. I like what Hatate can do for Aya's character, but it's weird because Hatate herself I don't particularly care about. I only like Hatate for what it is she brings to Aya as a character. So it's weird for me to say that like I like her as a character because I really don't. There's nothing about Hatate herself that stands out to me. It's only what she provides for another character that I like that makes me like partial to her appearances. Which makes it feel kind of disingenuous when I say I like her, right? Sunny and Merlin. I like both of these two, but Sunny is my favorite. Ogu? Ogu or Merlin? I'm a dupe master. I just like saying Ogu, that's all. But like I said, Satori Orin I like quite a bit, but then Oku I'm not really huge on, and then Koichi I don't care about. Merlin, I like Lunasa more, but I don't know why, but I've just had a growing appreciation for Merlin over time, and it's really weird. It's really weird. Mayumi, I don't care about Mayumi that much. Oh, well, I mean, a little more than that. Okay. Alright, buddy. Oh, fucking right. Okay. Keiki and Arya. Keiki by virtue of knowing more about the character. Arya by virtue of knowing less about the character. Renko and Eika. Yeah, it's for Renko. I don't like the dancers. Ellie and Seidan, definitely Ellie. Seidan, I don't really care about Seidan that much. Clown Piece or Yumemi, definitely Clown Piece. Byakuren or Yumemi, definitely Byakuren. Fortune Teller Minariko. Why is there so much fucking crash music, chat? Why are we listening to so much crash music? You trying to you trying to tell me to crash out? Is that what you're saying? Fortune Teller. I like Minariko. I like Fortune Teller more. Tokiko as well. I don't like Shimmy very much. So when I get like this is a matter of dislike to indifference. I don't like Nemono. Kokoro and Rinosuke. I like Kokoro. Crash. Crash is cool. I played like 2 Crash games. Only finished 1. I didn't 100% it. But I finished it. I played the first one on PS1, and I played The Wrath of Cortex, which was actually my first Crash game. Never beat it. Got to World 4. Fucking dog shit. Video game. Rinosuke over... Yeah, anything over Misamaru. Come on, bro. Cherno or Luis? Cherno a little bit. Takane a bit. Luis definitely. It's pretty hard to say I like PC98 characters over Windows characters, but there are a couple exceptions to that. I don't like Mugetsu, though. Aya and Seija. I don't really like Seija very much, but I am a big fan of Aya. I like Ellie. Ubame. Anyone else feel like when Diary drew Ubame, they had a bit of a goal with it? Anyone else feel like that when they drew this character? They were like, it's up to me to fix this. Because I feel like dishonest intentions came through in the art design a little bit for this character. My opinion of this character is so unbelievably neutral that it but I pretty actively don't like Seija, so Ruma and Yuma. Oh man. That's not hard at all, actually. It's not even remotely hard, but I'm being dramatic for the content. Ruma, Yuma, definitely Yuko. Nariko, yeah, Nariko. Yatsuhachi Ichiden. Look at their Nemono art. Well, they're meant to be the species they're based on are meant to be older women, right? So it makes sense. But as you can see with like Ichiden here, right? I guess you can blame it on Ichiden's cloth. I don't think that really works. But it's pretty varied. Chest size is a pretty varied thing. Most characters are more on the smaller side, but it might also just be the amount of clothing they wear. But there are a couple characters like that where it's just like the clothing they wear is really tight and it just presses right into it. But if you've ever seen fan art on the internet, you know that pretty much every single character in the entire series has been given large boobies. Even Rinosuke. Especially Rinosuke, actually. People would actually make it their fucking mission to give him big boobies. So they all have big boobies. Every single character. It's unavoidable. Suika or Satori? Definitely Satori. Sakuya or Suika? Definitely Suika. Shion or Sakuya? Probably Sakuya. Not by very much, though. Shimi or Shion? Shion. Anybody that isn't Mizuchi, that's for sure. Hold on, chat. I gotta get up and pee real quick. Let me go do that. Let me go take a pee. I'll be back. Woo, mind game. pretty lady versus a pretty lady. Gusty music. What are you talking about? Oh shit, I hear Gusty music. I gotta keep this going for another 39 minutes to reach the new year, chat. No problem. Alright, Iko or Rikako? So I like Rikako. Iko, the more I look at her design, the more it pisses me off. Look at that. There's so much going on, dude. Iko would be easier to draw if she wore less clothing. But even if she wore less clothing, a lot of the frills come from the raiment that she carries around her, which is separate from her outfit entirely. Which is, like, mundo annoying, because that's, like, even if you fucking strip her, she still has a bunch of frills. You can't win with this fucking character, dude. You can't win. Well, I mean, you can, but whatever. Because her top has frills, her bottom has frills, and her raiment has frills, and her raiment is massive. But like I said, like even if you change your outfit, the raiment still exists. And that's where so many frills are. So no matter what you do, you're gonna have to draw frills. You know what's funny though is that her Iku's double spoiler like sprite art doesn't have her raiment. Her raiment is not present there, so Zun did not draw her frills. Bro skipped out. He was like, nah, son. Nah. I drew that in the concept art, and then I was not touching that ever again. I thought that was very funny. Like, nobody wants to draw all those fucking frills, dude. Nobody wants to draw those frills. Alright. Rikako or Iku? I'm probably a Rikako fan more here. I don't like Megumu. I don't like Megumu. Yomu! Yomu's getting paired up with characters that I would, like, pick at least 30 other characters against. So it makes it seem like Yomu's an easy shot, but, like, it's no fucking contest. Kongara. Nope. Ah. At least Sumereko isn't actively, like, appearing in canon. That's the only nice thing you're gonna get for me to say. Bitch! Ron or Yuka? Always click Ron. Junko or Yuka? Just not really a Junko fan. Nina also, I'm not really a Nina fan. I'm really not. I don't really like Yoshika. Nina! Miko or Raiko? Ooh. 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 Thinking about it. Let me think about it. Let me think. I'm thinking hard. Thinking hard. Probably Raiko. Oh, definitely not Kaguya. Definitely not Mai. Yamame or Kagero? Definitely Yamame. Mioi or Kagero? It's Kagero. Maeda? I don't really like Maeda. Remy or Benben? Easily Remy, easily Kane. Kurumi or Benben? I think Kurumi's pretty neat. So yeah, I'd give it to Kurumi. Ooh, Mailing or Kwakama? Ooh. Ooh, Mailing or Kwakuma? These are both characters that I have a positive opinion on, but I wouldn't say I have a strong opinion towards, but I'm fine with them showing up, you know? Maybe if I had to give it a little edging out, I would probably give it to Kwakama. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Kwakama has a little more shenanigans, less butt of the joke than Mailing, but Mailing has a lot of strongs. Mailing can have her very strong moments, but I'm not really a fan of the butt of the joke Mailing. Kwakama doesn't get that nearly as much as Mailing, but Mailing has a lot of moments where she's a great character as well. I like her more than Hikatia. I don't care about Ellen. I don't care about Urumi. Shinki and Kozuzu. Wow. Shinki. Wagasaki or Kozubu. Yuki. Ooh. Ooh. Letty. Hojo. New. What is goo? Goo is new. New is goo. New Hugu. Is that her name? No, you can't just goo her. Well, I kind of want to because I like saying it. New's cool. Don't you like New? Don't you like New? Isn't New pretty cool? I think New's pretty cool, right? Now, actually, chat, let me kill some time. Let me talk about Nue for a second here because Nue is kind of interesting to me in terms of her character relationships. Because when she debuted, it was like she was kind of a standalone character to an extent, but not really. And her most common pair-up or association character was Marasa, right? Nue and Marasa were the most common. Like, they were friends, they knew each other, and haha, get it? They knew each other. Hee-hoo. But like each of them wasn't nearly the same. It's mainly Marasa and Nue, right? And then in the next game, what happens? We find out that Nue is actually friends with Mamizo. Nue is friends with Mamizo, canonically. And did anybody give a fuck? No. No. No one gave a fuck. That's not true, obviously, but it's surprising to me that like Nue had an established like relationship with Mamizo from 13, but no, Marasa was the character that got the most attention even still. But then what was weird is that when 14 came out, there was like these like suddenly Seija and Nue were characters that got paired together. But the thing about Seija and Nue is they are nothing alike, like, at all. In fact, I firmly believe the only reason that those two characters got paired together was because A, they both had black hair, B, they both had red eyes, and C, people assume that these are the two most likely characters to get their tongues pierced. Now, what kind of metric is that, streamer? It's a metric that when you hear, you go, what? And then you think about it for a second, and you go, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But realistically, Nue and Seija have nothing in common. They just both wear black, and they have red on their designs, and they look like punks. So people are like, oh, they would definitely get along. No. Seija would not get along with Nue. Nue is one of the things that she wants to overturn. Huh? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But they get paired. They get paired, and it's mostly just aesthetic things. It has nothing to do with their personalities or anything. It's purely an aesthetic thing. But Marasa and Nue is the more common one, obviously. But yeah, I think it's neat because Nue is like confirmed friend. And even in canon, when she showed up again in Wildhorn Hermit, when she did some urban legend shit, she was talking to Mamizo. So Nue is friends with Mamizo, but you really don't see a lot of Nue Mamizo. You don't. When you see Nue, you tend to see Marasa, and if you don't see Marasa, you see Seija. But Mamizo seems to be way in the back, despite her being the only actual one that has happened. Kind of neat. I think that's kind of neat. Does it mean anything? No, but it was neat. Letty, Alice, Saki. Ooh, On and Chamada. On, Puppy. Puppy number 2. Stinky versus Chamada. Chamada. Lyrica. Okina. Ooh. 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 How can I say no to Goo? How can I say no to Goo? Oh, I can say no to Marissa pretty easily. Yugen Magan. Yugen Magan is conceptually neat, but not really a total character to me. Okay. Alright. Catfish. Reimu and Komachi. Reimu and Komachi. Reimu. Big Reimu fan. Komachi over Kasen. Now that's an interesting, actually. Komachi and Kasen is an interesting character interaction because it felt like they had some real character synergy for a lot of early Wildhorn Hermit, but then at some point Komachi just kind of fucked off, and she didn't really show up until the end and was like, oh yeah, let me help you like get into Cassin's hut. But they had a lot of interactions and they had some real character chemistry, but then Komachi just got told to fuck off. And I think it's funny because Aya Azuma, the illustrator for Wildhorn Hermit, has their own set of dojins where they have actually done Cassin Komachi. But in Wildhorn Hermit, that gets shut down after a certain amount of chapters, and Komachi only kind of shows up at the end for the climax. Wah. Touhou, Cassin. Touhou. Anything but my. Yuka or Doremi? I would say Yuka. When I like, it's like sometimes chat you see a character and you have like an internal pop off, right? You know what I mean? Like when you see a certain character show up in like a fan project or something, and like you have like a initial reaction that you can't really shake. Like when I see Doremi, I'll be like, oh, Doremi, okay, I know Doremi. When I see Yuka, my brain goes, oh my god, hi Yuka! That's what happens. When I see Yuka for the first time and she pops up internally, my brain's like, oh my god, hi! And it's like, why do I do that? I don't know. I'm happy to see her. I'm thrilled to see her. It's like when Lily shows up and everybody poses Lily W, right? It's like you see her and you just instinctively pop off. It's a knee-jerk reaction you don't have any control over. And I think about those reactions, you know? I think about those reactions when I pick characters that I like because I think they're very important, and I think the reason they're important is because you can't really hide your initial reaction to something, so how strongly you feel on a first impression means a lot, no matter how much you try to cover it up with extra words. That's why when the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes came out, or when they got announced and I saw the trailer, immediately when I saw like the art style for it, I was like, ew. Immediately I was like, ew. And then my brain was like, oh, maybe it's not that bad, but I didn't care what rationale my brain was coming up with at that point. I knew right away that when I saw that, I didn't like it. And I was like, oh, we're not even going to bother trying to rationalize that, my guy. No, I don't like that. I'm not getting that. I'm not taking part in that. And I didn't. I just didn't. But that knee-jerk reaction to what I saw right away was like, yep, nope, not touching that. So I trust those initial first impressions a lot on myself because those first impressions, they happen before you have time to think and rationalize. So I consider them the most honest opinion towards something that I can possibly have is how I feel about it within the first second of seeing it. And I value that initial reaction quite a lot. I do. It makes a lot of decisions for me. It does. Squishy! I love Squishy! Doremi. Ringo. Mistia or Sanai? I am more of a Mistia fan. I like the green bean more than Marasa. I like Marasa more than SpongeBob. I like the balloon more than SpongeBob. Frog? Cat? Cat frog? Frog cat? What is this? This is some kind of Boomba. Boomba. Suako or Chen? Definitely Suako. I don't have a problem with Chen. Chen is a character that I feel like I don't... It's not that I don't like her, but it's not that I do like her, but it's just like you see her so much that you just kind of grow used to her. Like when she's there, other characters will be there too, right? Chen herself is a perfectly fine character. I got no problem with her at all. But yeah, she's a character who just is, you know, when she's around, other characters are around too. I like Sariel more. Orin and Lunasa. Definitely Orin. Definitely my cat. Yeah, definitely. Lunasa or Enoko? Probably Lunasa. Enoko, Marissa, Enoko. Shizuha, Marissa. Shizuha. Rat. Always Rat. Mima. Kasume. Tenshi or Jupe? Jupe. Alice or Tenshi? Alice. Why is Eren still up here? Go away, Eren. Go the fuck away. Akio or Banki? You know what's funny is when we get our hands on Imperishable Night for the busy person, that Alice, busy person Alice, is like a crime against humanity. That character is like destructive of your perception of Alice as a character. She is one awful motherfucker. But that's okay, because we're used to her. We're used to her and her shenanigans. Alright? Fuck. Absolute freak shit. Banki or Akio? Banki. Akio. Yukari. Tojiko. Ooh. Luna or Gussie? Gussie. Moko or Luna? Probably Lumba. Pachoto. Mokope. Tay or Bachi? Tay. Oh, Momija or Sunny? What the fuck is Momija? That's Momi, Momiji. Her name is Mimo. Her name is Momi. Her name is Miji. Her name is Jimo. Nemo, Mima, but that's Sunny fucking Milk, dude. That's Sunny fucking Milk. That's her. That's my favorite Sunny. There's only one Sunny streamer. Yeah? Doesn't matter. Mimo. I like calling her Mimo. Miji, Moji, Mimo, Mabagubu. Lily or Merlin? That's a Lily W right there, boys. Merlin over Star. Star over Ogu. Ogu over Yachier. Yachier over Mayumi. Hatate over Mayumi. Ellie or Keiki? Ellie. Nitori. Keiki. Yumeko. Aria. Seiden. Renko. Gengetsu. Eika. Satono. I like when you get to the bottom of the current set and it's like, oh, look at all these fucking dog water characters. Dog water. Midoriko or Clown? That's an easy Clown. Easy Byakuren. Easy Umemi. Not an easy Monkey. I had to think about it for a second. Thinking about it. Because it's a contest of do I like saying Moonki more than I like Midoriko as the entirety of her character. And the fact that I even have to think about that is kind of sad. It's kind of sad, I will admit. But like Moonki. You know what, Midoriko? I value you. And the fortune teller. Monkey. This woman will ruin your life. Yeah, so will half of your top 10, streamer. You're right. You're so right. You're so fucking right. Kokoro is an easy click. Renosuke, easy click. Kutaka, easy click. Mike, Chirno. Takane, that's a Mike click. Oh, here we go. Misamaru. Ruma or Aya? Ruma. Ooh, Yuma or Aya? Ooh, Aya. Definitely Aya. Yuma. Yuko. Nariko. Reimu, Ellie. Reimu. Narumi. Satori easily. Seika easily. Sakuya not as easily. Shion's a little more fun. Chimi, Ichirin. Okay. No. Bitch. Bitch. I hate them both. God, I hate them both. Sonya's less egregious, I guess. Rikako or Yomu? Yomu. Rikako, easily. Iku, easily. Evil Eye, Sigma. Kotohime. Probably Kotohime. Hongura? Sure. Die! Die. Did I kill you? Are you dead? Okay. Maribel. Evil Eye. Hisami. Megumu. Ron or Hina? Ron. Hina. Raiko. Miko. Yuka. Junko. Kaguya. Nina. Yoshika. Ooh. Remy and Yamame. Definitely still Remy. Oh, Kane and Yamame. I like both of these characters quite a bit, actually. I think I like both. It's just hard. Sweet potato. She's built like a sweet potato. Kagero or Kane? Kane. Kurumi or Kagero? Kurumi. Ben Kagero, Kagero. Mioi, Ben. Medicine. I fucking hate okay, don't do it. Streamer, knock it off. Knock it off. Mioi is a character with wasted potential as far as I'm concerned. Wasted potential is better than shitty potential, though. I'll give you that. Kwakama or Shinki? You think Kwakama came from Makai? Nobody really knows where Kwakama comes from. According to Busy Person, her family runs a chicken farm. I like that lore about her. She disappears in one of the extra games because she goes back home to help the chicken farm. So, you know, she's a bit of a goofy lass, but everybody's a goofy lass in that game. Guaga. Spinky. Her name is Shinky, her name is Spinky, her name is Stinky, her name is I don't know. What else you got? Kozuzu or Kwakama? Kwakama. But Kozuzu over Mailing. Mailing. Wagasaki. Katsuya. Yuki. I call her Stinky because she kills me 3 times with her Cheeto bullets. Makes me sick. Man. Now we're at this part. Yep, here we go. Ooh. Puppy? Puppy or Nue? Puppy. Puppy or Nue? Oh god, the puppy! Shimada, Nue. Letty, Shimada. Lyrica, Letty. Alice, Lyrica, Saki. Sagume, barely. Go or Reimu? Still Reimu, boys. Still Reimu. Gu over Komachi. Komachi or Sho? Komachi or Sho? Komachi or Sho? Komachi or Sho? Komachi. Sho. Futo. Kassen. Genji. Anybody that isn't my Misty or Yuka. Definitely Misty. Yuka over Snai. Die over Snai. Snai over Doremi. Doremi. Murasa. Ringo. Koishi. First stage, third stage, second stage. The green one. Yep. Orin. Definitely Orin. Lunasa. Froggy. Hanoko. Sariel. Chen. Shizuha. Marissa. Yugi. Kana. Jupe or Rat? That's not tough at all, actually. Jupe. Alice or Rat? That's still not tough. That's Alice. Tenchi or Red? Ooh. Ooh, that's... Gotta think about this. I gotta think about this. I like both these characters for different reasons. Rat Jam. Tenchi. Nazrin. Raisin. Mima. Eiki. Kasume. Sara. Why are you even up here, Eden? How the fuck are you still up here? Kaneko. Banki or Gussie? Ooh. Honestly, Banki. But I do like Gussie. Akyu or Luna? Luna. Moko. Akyu. Tei. Yukari. Pachi. Riglu. Sunny Milk. Momiji. Lily. Merlin. Star. Ellie. Ogu. Nitori. Yeah. A hard one, actually. It's a hard one. Keiki. Yashie. Hitate. Mayumi. Yumiko. Aria. Seiren. Renko. Gengetsu. Eika. Satono. Zanmu. We're pushing Mimi all the way to the back, boys. Kokoro or Clown Piece? Clown. Kokoro. Byakuden. Yumemi. Renosuke. Kutaka. Minariko. Chirno. Fortune Teller. Mike. B10. Tsukasa. Hakane. Luis. Unzan. Tokiko. Orange. Raisin. Oh, dude. Shimmy. Misamaru. Nemuno. Satori or Roomba? Come here, Roomba. Satori or Aya? Satori. Suika or Aya? Aya. Yuma or Suika? Yuma. Yuko or Suika? Suika. Sakuya or Yuko? Nariko or Sakuya? Shion or Nariko? Ellie or Shion? Ellie. Reimu or Shion? Ichiden Reimu? Narumi Ichiden? Narumi. Ubame? That's Ichiden. Chimi or Ubame? No. Okay. Yomu or Ron? Hina or Yomu? Kako or Hina? Raiko or Rakako? It's Raiko. Miko or Rakako? Miko. Yuka or Rakako? Iku or Yuka? Iku. Kotohime Yuka? Junkie? They're the same character. They are. Guya, Nina, Kotohime, Kongara, Yashika, Maribel, Kikuri, Sigma, Hisami, Megumu. My. Ooh, Shanky or Ramilia? Ooh. Oh my. These two characters are pretty opposite from each other, aren't they? Do we go for 140 centimeters or 197 centimeters? Remy. Remy, Shinky, Yamame. In that order. In that order. Kane or Kwakama? Kane. Kwakama. Kozuzu. Meiling. Wagasaki. Kurumi. Hekatia. Kagero. Yuki. Benben. Medicine. Who the fuck cares about Ellen? Me or Ellen? Clicking everything that is an Ellen streamer, only to a certain point. I don't like Abmeda. I don't like Sega. I don't like Toyohime. Reimu and her pet dog. Reimu. Goo and her not pet dog. Goo. Komachi or on? Komachi. Show or on? On. Kyoko or show? Show. Kyoko. New. Shimada. To. Letty. Kassen. Alice. Lyrica. Saki. Genji. Sagume. Marissa. The Catfish. Yuga Magan. Not my. Ah, great. Orin or Mistia? Mistia. Yuka or Orin? Yuka. Dai. Lunasa. Suako. Snai. Enoko. Sariel. Doremi. Chen. Murasa. Akshizuha. Ringo. Marissa. Koishi. Yugi. Isotensoku. Kana. Chiari. We're speeding up. We're speeding up. 58%. Jupe. Alice. Tenshi. Rat. Raisin? Raisin. Sekibanki. Gussie. Luna. Moko. Akyu. Tei. Yukari. Bachi. Wriggle? Mima. Eiki. Tojiko. Not that guy. Not her either. Wow, okay. Alright. Sunny Milk. Sunny Milk. Momiji. Lily or Clown? Clown. Kokoro. Lily. Byakurin. Yumemi. Merlin. Rinosuke. Star. Kutaka. Ellie. Minariko. Ogu. Nitori. Chino. Fortune Teller. Mike. B10. Kasa. Keiki. Takane. Yashige. Luis. Unzan. Hatate. Mayumi. Tokiko. Yumiko. Aria. Seiren. Renko. Orange. Raisin. Shimi. Misumaru. Gengetsu. Stream of the New Year, get ready! There's still 6 minutes, shut up! Gengetsu is still better than her sister. God, anything's better than her fucking sister. Except Zamu. Ruma or Ran? Ruma! Satori, yep. Aya, yep. Yuma, yep. Suika, yep. Yuko, Ran. Yomu, Yomu, Yomu. Hina, Hina. Raiko, Yuko. Raiko. Miko. Sakuyo. Sakuyo? Who the fuck is Sakuyo? No, don't worry. Look at that percentage. It's gonna spike up. Naruko, Iku, Ellie, Yuka, Shion, Junkie, Reimu. Loud. Good. Narumi, Ichiren, Shimi, Kaguya. I don't care about either of these two. Kotohime, Chimi, Yasashi, Pasi, Kotohime, Kunguda, Ubami, Yoshika, Return Buddy, Mirabelle, Kikuri, Sega, Koto, Sigma, Hisami, Megumu, Mai, Sanyo, Sumireko, Mizuchi, Wemi or Weimu? Weimu. Goo? Oh no. Oh, this can't be. This can't be. This has never happened before. Not for me, anyway. It's all because of that stupid fucking word. It's because of that stupid fucking word. I know it is. I know it is! I like Remy more than Flan. Character-wise. Always have, always will. Shinky. Goo. Yamame. Oh, big women. Komachi. On! Kane. Sho. Kwakuma. Kyoko. Kozuzu. New. Shimada. To. Mailing. Letty. Hime. Kassen. Kurumi. Hikatia. Kagero. Yuki. Benben. Madison! He's doing it again. He's doing it again. 67%? No, we're at 68%. Now we're at 69%. I didn't mean to do that. Whoa, there we go. Now there's the funny number that I grew up with. Not Sagume, Ellen, Marissa. Jupe or Mistia? 3 minutes? 2 minutes, actually. Jupe, Alice, Tenshi, Nazrin, Raysen, Mistia, Bonky, Orin, Gussie, Luna, Moko, Akyu, Yuka, Dai, Tei, Lunasa, Suako, Snai, Yukari, Pachi, Anoko, Sario, Doremi, Chem, Rasa, Shizuha, Rigo, Ringo, Mima, Eiki, Marissa, Koishi, Tojiko, Yugi, Kasume, Hisara, Hisotensoku, Kana, Kanako, Eren, Chiuri, Rika, Momoyo, Sunny, Milk. There's 2 minutes. There's 2 minutes left. We're almost done. There's 1 minute left. Rumia, Satori, Aya, Yuma, Sunny, Milk, Momiji, Clown, Suika, Ron, Kokoro, Lily, Yomu actually, Lily, Hina, Yiko, Byakuden, Raiko, Yumeimi, Merlin, Miko, Sakuya, Rikako, Rinosuke, Star, Kutaka, Nareko, Ellie, Iku, Minariko, Ellie, Yuka, Ogu, Nitori, Shion, Junko, Cherno, Reimu, Narumi, Ichirin, Fortune Teller, Mike, Bitense, Kasa, Keiki, Takane, Yashie, Luis, Bunzan, Kaguya, Nina, Hatate, Mayumi, Chimi. Oh, we did it! We made it to the new year. We're almost done though, chat. Don't worry, this will take less than 5 minutes. But it has now become the 12 o'clock. I hear fireworks and it was snowing outside. We did it. We've entered January 1st, 2026. Whoa! I was hoping to get this finished right on that point, but it's okay. Hang in there for a little bit longer, chat. We're almost done. Give or take 5-10 minutes. We're gonna get through this together. Because now we're at the part where I'm mashing. Alright? We're at the mashing part. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going. Ugh. Ugh. Jupe. Jupe. 2026. We're in a leap year, chat. Alice or Reimu? Reimu. Alice. Tenshi. Nazarin. Remy. Shinki. Gu. Jason. Mistia. Yam. Banki. Oren. Komachi. Kokasa. An. Luna. Kane. Moko. Sho. Kwakuma. Akyu. Kyoko. Yuka. Kozuzu. Dai. Nu. Tenshi. Shimada. Lunasa. We're bouncing back and forth, but it's actually working out. Suako. Futo. Snai. Mailing. Yukari. Pachi. Letty. Enoko. Sariel. Doremi. Wagasagi. Chen. Murasa. Kassen. Kurumi. Shizuha. Katia. Kaguro. Yuki. Shore. Benben. Ringo. Mima. Eiki. Benben. Marissa. Alice. Medicine. Lyrica. Saki. Genji. Koishi. Tojiko. Mioe. Yuiman. Buiman. Fucking Indian thriller. Sagume. Kasume. Marissa. Sara. Balloon. Kana. Kaneko. The Fish. Ellen. Anyone that's not Eden. Ugh. 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 I hate. Jupe versus Rumia. Jupe. Ruma. Reimu. Story. Alice. Aya. Tenshi. Rat. Remy. Yuma. Shinki. Sunny. Gu. Miji. Clown. Raisin. Mistia. Yam. Suika. Ron. Banki. Kokoro. Orin. Komachi. Gussie. On. Yomu. Luna. Kane. Lily. Hina. Moko. Sho. Kawakama. Yuko. Byakurin. Akyu. Kyoko. Yuka. Kozusu. Dayose. Nu. Raiko. Yumemi. Kei. Chimada. Ooh. Lunasa. Suako. Futo. Snai. Mailing. Merlin. Yukari. Pachi. Miko. Skuya. Letty. Enoko. Sariel. Doremi. Hime. Chen. Murasa. Kassen. Rikako. Rinosuke. Star. Kutaka. Nareko. Ellie or Kurumi. Oh man. Fated battle. Ellie. Iku. Minariko. Ellie. The real Ellie. The fake Ellie, actually. Yuka. Ogu. Nitori. Shion. Junko. Shirno. Reimu. Narumi. Kurumi. Shizuha. Hikatia. Kagero. Ichiren. Yuki. Ringo. Mima. Eiki. Bem. Marissa. Alice. Madison. Lyrica. Saki. Genji. Koishi. Tojiko. Mioe. Yuiman. Yugi. We'll eventually get to the character that I picked Fortune Teller over. Because they're coming up. They have to come up eventually. There it is. There we go. Now we're riding the gravy train, boys. The gravy train. Straight to Cat Swam. With the kitty cat. Catfish cat. Cat. Quaha-ha-ha. Waha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Ho-ho-ho-ha-hoo-ha. Hee-hee-ho-ha-ha-ha. And this is where we boil and mash our stew, right? Is this where we boil and mash our stew? Stinky bitch. Stinky bitch. Stinky bitch. Stinky bitch. It's always these three at the bottom. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, a new contender. Oh, man. Multiple new contenders. There you go. We did it. I see Sunny Milk at 12th place. Alright, chat, you ready? Did you get those predictees? Ready for streamer's top #1? Who's that #1 character on streamer's list? It is, drumroll please. Oh my god. It's Jupe. Whoa. Can you believe it? In 6th place is Aya Shimemaru. Wow. Not bad, not bad at all. First again, #1 Victory Royale. But what about #2, streamer? #2 and #7, that is Ruma and Tenshi. Whoa, crazy. Can you believe it? I sure can. That seems right up what you'd expect from my ass, wouldn't it? Crazy, right? What about 3 and 8? 3 and 8 go to Reimu and the Rat. That's right, the Rat. Is that new? I don't know, actually. I couldn't tell you. You had to look at my last year's sorter. Top 3, I think, is exactly the same, though. But there's Nazarene in 8th place. We love the Rat. That's Rat. That's Rat Jam. Rat, play me a jam. Alright, 4 and 9. That's Satori and Wemi. That's not that surprising, I don't think. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. So that means 5th and 10th should be, if I am correct, it should be Yuma and someone else. I actually don't know who's 5th. Oh, right, Alice. I forgot about Alice. There you go. And Shinky's 11. Alice and Yuma for 5th and 10th. Shinky at 11th. Sunny Milk at 12th. Goo at 13th. Pretty good. Pretty good. So Alice is up in top 5 now. So what's the correlation? Let's play a game. It's called Spot the Correlation. We have small woman, 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 tall woman. Something about this doesn't seem to add up, does it? But streamer, they're Touhou characters. The majority of them are small. Yeah, I know, but like, I do feel like Alice is not really small comparatively, that's all. Sunny, Flandre, Momiji, Clown, Raisin, Mistia, Yamame, Suika, Ran, Banki, Kokoro, Oren, Komachi, Gasa, On. Yeah. But you want to know what the bottom 10 was, Chad? I know you want to know what the bottom 10 was. Look at that list go. You can't see it because it cuts off, but I'll read it to you. Here we go. Starting from 140th place. Reisen, Manga, Shimi, Misamaru, Seija, Rukoto, Evil Eye, Yomotsu Hisami, Nemono, Megumu, Tereda Mai, Gengetsu, Eika, Satono, Mugetsu, Zanmu, Great Catfish, Ellen. Damn, Ellen ended up really far in the back. That's unfortunate. Singyoku Female, Yugen Magan, Urumi, Eren, Chiuri, Rika, Momoyo, Okina, Meira, Shingyoku Male, Chiari, Mimi-chan, Seiga, Sanyo, Yorihime, Sumireko, Mizuchi, Mamizo, Toyohime, and the #1 bottom character is Mai. Mai is the lowest rated character. Where's Ellie? Ellie is in 70th place. 70th. Okay. You know what? That seemed like she was set for higher than that. Wouldn't you agree? The sorter is always funny because there's some characters, like, obviously you're going to see, like, Jupe in first place, right? But then you see her up against, like, these characters over here in this category, And it's just like, man, they're really close to each other. No, they're like 10 characters apart. Ellie is all the fuck way over in 70th place. But you know what? Looking at everybody I picked over her, it makes sense to me. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. You'd have to look and compare. I don't really do that. But there you go, chat. Streamer sorter for this year. Has anything changed? Not really. It's kind of hard to change. I'd say Alice is probably the biggest adjustment because, I don't know. I'm getting older. But Satori's always been a character I've liked. Rainbow's always been a character I like. Rumia has been in second place for a while. Jupe is Jupe. Ai has always been a character I like. Tenji's a character I come to appreciate a lot more over time. Nazrin is a character that I've come to enjoy more than I used to, but I've always liked her. Remy has always been a favorite, and Yuma is a character I really like as well. So yeah, there you go. So we're pushing, we're pulling. There we go. There you go, chat. There's Streamer Sorter for the year. So tune in next year, same time, to see the exact same results again and act surprised, expecting them to be any different whatsoever. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on December 31st, 2026. Hell yeah.